CBS that her team was cooperating, but the FBI files and new evidence suggest otherwise. Brett.
Catherine, thank you. Let's get a reaction tonight from the Clinton campaign. Brian Fallon is Clinton campaign press secretary. Brian, thanks for being here. We want to talk about the debate and set up to the expectations for tonight. I want to get you to react to that story and as it's developed, this immunity part of this story. Why does that look bad? The immunity to Cheryl Mills and others, and then the destruction of those computers.
No, and here's why, Brett. This is a matter that was closed back in July. So first of all, I think it's important for everyone to realize that even though this information is coming out now, it's just because the Justice Department provided things to Congress and Republican members of Congress are leaking it out about a month or so away from the general election. But it all concerns an investigation that was closed back in July. And at the time that the investigation was closed, Director Comey stood up at a press conference, we all remember it, and said that there was no basis to bring a case here. And he said it wasn't even a close call. And so at this point, we're delving into this. So to the extent that it's being aired now, let's talk about it. These were routine immunity agreements that were provided. They came after both of these two lawyers sat down and answered every question that the FBI had. They submitted to those interviews completely voluntarily. Then a couple weeks later, it was indicated by the Justice Department they'd also like to look at their computer equipment. They said sure. They had the opportunity to thoroughly examine it. And in terms of what happened to them afterwards, that's entirely up to the Justice Department and the FBI, so you'd have to ask them what they're doing with it.
Well, I mean, that's the kind of a
devices
part
are
of
in their hands.
An immunity deal that has a destruction of computer tied to it. You know, when there was, at the beginning, the thought was you don't need these computers because there aren't emails on here that matter and they're personal, so why turn them over? But then to destroy the computer afterwards just seems a little strange to people.
Well, it's in the FBI and the Justice Department's hands about what to do with those devices.
I want to move on to other topics. Taxes are a big issue, but before we leave this one, Brian Pagliano, IT specialist, he was paid by the Clintons. In 2011, he put the dollar amount that almost exactly matches the dollar amount that Hillary Clinton deducted on her taxes for computer work. So did she deduct taxes for having this guy erase the servers in this investigation?
No. Brian Pagliano was somebody that innocently set up an IT system early in 2009. It was a system that was designed to host the staff emails for President Clinton's personal office, and then Secretary Clinton made the decision to have her account be hosted on that same server. All of that stuff that played out in 2013 was when the server was in the possession of a private firm. It had nothing to do with Brian Pagliano.
All right, the taxes